Can we please, before I tell you what this video is, I mean, you saw the title, but can we please appreciate for a second that I am such a forwarding, planning person. I mean, we have end of February and you see this video in April. So yes, that is how consistent I am with my planning, because last year the Clionadh series I just kind of did like, yeah, it was a side character, but this year this channel is not about only new products. I want to give you creativity and tutorials with just with stuff that's already in your collection. Why did I want to say remaining? No, that's already existing products, and just give you some new ways to use maybe your singles. And I'm just so proud of myself, and I don't know at what kind of status my hair is in April, because as of now, when I'm filming this in this week, I have my hairdresser's appointment, so chances are high that you might be confused. Why am I piss blonde with these dark roots, while in other videos you see my new hair color, the dark one? So I'm sorry for the confusion, but that's basically the reason, because I'm just planning so far ahead and I just need to pre-film these. So enough of the ramble. What am I going to do today? We are in, I think, the 8th part of my Clionadh series. In case you don't know, I have 2.5 palettes of Clionadh single shadows. Why 2.5? Because these are the 30 pans. Yes, these are the 30 pan palettes from Cryptine Cosmetics, and I have one full, then I have a second one full, and the third one is not full. There are only 12 shades in there, so I still have a bit of space. And because it is so many Clionadh shades and I barely come to the point where I want to use them, or where I can use them, because palettes have already very pretty eyeshadows and multichromes and duochromes and straight up metallics, but I also love Clionadh as multichrome. They're definitely my favorite multichrome brand. I thought of this Clionadh series, and we're already at part 8. How does this work? Before every single look, so 3 in total for each video, I will spin a wheel of fortune. The wheel will give me the shade that I will use for that look, and then I choose the companion palette to this. This look that you see right here is actually the one that you will see first. It's with burnt sienna, and I combined it together with a flower nose palette. So this is a very basic B look, but we also get very creative in these videos and just branch out a bit and do some fun looks. So I would say enough of the ramble. Again, sorry for the hair status. Could be the case that I actually have a different hair color in the majority of my videos now, but again, far planning ahead. But again, planning ahead, pre-filming, it is what it is. But now let's head into the 3 looks of this video. Alright, let's spin the wheel for the first look of today's video, and it's going to be Burnt Sienna. So Burnt Sienna is in my palette number 1, and it's this tanny orangey warm shade. This is a deep iridescent multichrome, and that's my second and therefore the last deep iridescent multichrome that I have next to ochre that we already covered. And the website describes Burnt Sienna as a light warm tan base that shifts hot orange, gold and lime. So let's make a nice swatch here. I don't know how much you can tell, but when I look at this, I see the hot orange, I see the lime in certain angles, so it looks tanny. The description is spot on, I'd say. And here you have also, of course, the video with phone and flash. I also shifted my hand a bit in that video so that when there is the lighting panels that I have here hitting my hand, then you see the lime. Before, in the first seconds, you can't see it when I shake my hand. Honestly, I have a ton of palettes that would work with Burnt Sienna, like Natasha, Denona Golden, or I Need a Warm could work, Rose Metals from ABH, any type of Charlotte Tilbury palette probably. The Danessa Myricks Groundworks, the neutral one, so not the blooming one with the pink, the first version. cosmic brushes, the neutrals. Did I say that already? I have a deja vu. Nomad Cosmetics in the Chicago palette are some warm tones that could fit this. My MAC palette, bPerfect, but there is just a little bit too much choice now, so that I want to stay with a palette that is quite small, that has also options for inner corner highlight, and it's going to be this one. This is by Flower Nose. This is from the Butterfly Cloud Color collection, and it's the palette in the version Terracotta Brick. So I start with the light matte, and on a fluffy brush I apply this in the crease and then blend it upwards towards the brow. I then go into the reddish matte. That one I apply in the crease, starting in the center, bringing it inwards and flick it slightly outwards. This is going to be a very, very basic warm eyeshadow look. And then I go into the dark here, and that one I apply on the outer, like third. I build it up a bit for a good amount of darkness, and then I blend it up into the crease. I applied my glitter glue, and now I go into Burnt Sienna, and I apply this all over my lid. The deep iridescent multi-chromes, they are a bit smoother in their texture compared to a lot of other Clionadh shades that tend to be a little bit flaky. We're not talking the squishy flakes, we're talking dry flakes. So you get pigment flakes on your eyes that break up as soon as you apply them and leave this beautiful sheen and color on your eye. But these deep iridescent multi-chromes, they are like regular soft metallic shadows and apply in a very smooth way. Let's bring a bit of a sunny vibe into that look, and for that I take Two Can Do It from ColourPop and line my waterline with that. I then also tap into the dark shade from Flower Nose again and just smudge this on the outer half. Yeah, a good outer half on the lower lash line. And then I go into the reddish shade and smudge this on the rest and bring it a little bit also underneath the dark shade for a smoky look. Usually I use these videos to incorporate my glitters, but honestly this Flower Nose palette has so many beautiful options, like two. Literally, why did I say so many? I'm sorry. But I take the light gold here and use this as my inner corner highlight. And here you have the first finished look. On the lips I'm wearing MAC Strip Down Liner, and I combined it with the Made by Mitchell Cupid case in Rose Garden. And I used the shade Red Rose here that in the pan looks actually brick reddy orange, but on the lips, as you see, it is quite bright. I love the way this looks. I love the whole composition here of combinations, especially together with the Flower Nose palette, but I want to say so that the deep iridescent multi-chromes are not my favorite formulation, but that comes just very specifically down to the fact that all of them have a tan base, and tan eyeshadow colors, they are just so basic. I have them in a lot of eyeshadow palettes, and while I love the quality, since it is Clionadh, they're just not color-wise special enough for me. So the two that I have, I'm very happy with. Don't get me wrong, but I will probably not add more of these deep iridescent multi-chromes at any point. I mean, if they change the base a bit and keep the smooth formulation, I totally would. But so far, I am not the biggest fan of these, and they're formula-wise honestly more towards the bottom if I had to rank the formulations. But I'm happy with the two that I have, and I'm also very satisfied with the two that I have, so also no need to add them. But now, I think I rambled a lot. Let's now head into the next look. Okay, we love that part of the video when I spin the wheel, so let's see. It's going to be Kiln. Kiln is in my Clionadh palette too, and there are two versions of this. We have Kiln and actually Kiln Light, and the wheel shows the regular Kiln for us. So Kiln is described on the Clionadh website as shifts red, orange, gold, and it's a jeweled multi-chrome. And the description for them is features a black base with ultra-rich high metallic color shifting reflex. So the jeweled multi-chromes, they don't have glitter in them. They're just black based metals, and here we have them. I don't know if you can see, but Kiln is definitely one of my personal favorite colors from Clionadh. Kiln Light too, it is very, very special. And when I look at it, I see orange, I see the golden, I also see a little bit of a coppery vibe to it. And what's very interesting is, while this is not exactly described on the website, in the phone video here, you also see a pink flash going on. So it is a very dimensional shade. But even in the unfocused video here with the flash, you don't see any glitter at all. And I think I found a palette where all of these different shifts are kind of represented in the Natasha Denona My Dream palette. Honestly, everything that this palette shifts, the orange hues, the goldiness, the pinkiness, the copperiness, you can find in the My Dream too. So while I think that the My Dream as a palette itself is already very, very nice and I actually would need an additional shade here, I think the mattes will complement this even better. I'm starting with the shade Unity here. It is a warm pinky beige and I use this as my transition color. I then go into Familia and use this on the outer V already and up in the crease. But I'm also taking it all the way in here. I do have a slight vision of how this shift is going to translate on the lid, and I assume that because of the way this shifted on my hand and with the light directed on it, I think the main pink shift will be here on the inner part of the eye. So I now tap into Instinct and I apply this here on the inner crease part and I bring this about 1/3 in, a little bit faded out towards the center, but the main focus is here. Honestly, I think the My Dream palette is going to be the next part of the Old But Not Forgotten series that I made also with the Colourpop Aurora palette that I re-fell in love during a Clionadh video because it's just so pretty. But see, this is the reason why I can't let go of Natasha Denona, because palettes like this they just show me that the brand is capable of doing something more creative. Although this is also very warm toned, but it is definitely more creative than the Bloom palette that in your timeline launched 2 months ago or 1 month ago. But in my timeline, because it's end of February, it was just announced and is, I think, right now available on the Natasha Denona website. I now go into the shade Aspiration and I take one of these super flat brushes and I just use this to press it into my lash line. Glitter glues down. Now I go into Kiln and I apply the star of the show all over my lid. I tap back into the familiar shade and I just reapply this here on the outer part. And with no additional product on, I also go through the inner crease part just to break up the lines. And I don't know how you see this on camera because of the different ways the light is hitting. Let me just reapply some more pink here. The shade behaves, from what I see here, exactly how I thought. So when I look into the mirror, I see the pink shift right up to here, and then it turns into the coppery orange gold shift, and it kind of just works completely together with the faded mattes that I have in the crease. So let's pick up the pink hue here on the look with the Colourpop liner in Plum Smash. And I line my waterline with that. And then I take the same brush that I used Aspiration with in the lash line in the upper one. And I take that and use this also here on the lower lash line. I'm not really smudging it out. I just apply this line here. And then I take, no, I don't want to take Familia. You know what? I take Carpe Diem and I use this to smudge that on top and down. The shade definitely picks up more of the orangey, warm copper vibe, in my opinion. For inner corner highlight, I stay in the My Dream palette and I take the shade Spontaneous and apply that. And here we have the second finished look. On the lips, I'm wearing makeup what? Makeup Forever Color Artist Pencil in Anywhere Caffeine and the shade Lucky Girl from the Made by Mitchell Cupid case. It's a shade that I really need to get used to. Not my favorite type of lipstick, but it kind of works. It kind of does the trick for me. I like that look. I really, really, really do. I think Kiln is such a special, beautiful shade, and honestly, I am quite proud with my decision to pair it with my Dream because I feel like the mattes in there perfectly complement the shift. But now let's move on to the last look of this video. Last spin of this video, and you will be getting the shade Gargoyle. So Gargoyle is also in my second palette, and it's actually one of the few pure greens. Like Gargoyle is a green with different shifts compared to others that are like copper and shift green. So you know I don't like greens, but when I bought all of these, I just wanted to have as many close shades as possible. So here you have it, and it is a jeweled multi-chrome that is described as shifts, warm, pure line, emerald, turquoise, indigo, violet. How many colors can be fitted in one fucking sentence? So here you have the swatch on my hand, and when I look at this, depending on the light, I see the violet, I see the emerald. I don't see so much of lime, to be honest, because it's very, very subtle limey. And you see here in the phone video, depending if there is another light source from the other side common, so I'm holding up my hand like up and down against the light panel that I have here, the violet either shows up or it is more shifting into the emerald to quasi light. But the lime, the pewter is very, very subtle in there, which I'm okay with. I just don't like greens in general, although in the past weeks and months, I have been really enjoying green looks, but I don't have like cool toned green. So that is a lie actually, because when you see the video, I probably already have filmed one because I have a palette back here sitting. It's in February, as I said a couple times now, that has cool green tones in them. So but I don't want to use it right now because it's not in my registered spreadsheet. So let me look out for a palette that I can use this with. That was fast. I got up, I saw the palette, I immediately focused on it, picked it up. I'm using this one. This is Carnival 5 from bPerfect. One of the most beautiful rainbow palettes on the market, and I'm still hoping and waiting that they will do another Carnival. I'm waiting for Carnival 6, but it has been quite quiet around bPerfect and their collab with Stacey Marie, so fingers crossed that at some point we get that. But what I'm eyeing actually here in the Carnival is definitely here these green shades, Alien, Meteor, Earthbound, I can totally imagine, and maybe for the lower lash line going into the more lilac-y one. Plus these here, Orbit, Milky Way, and Moonwalk, are actually pressed glitters, and they are holographic at some point. Love them. Love everything in this palette, by the way. So I feel like also this needs a 5 looks video or something, just like the My Dream. That's why I love these videos, because I just get reminded of the beautiful products that I already have in my collection. And honestly, with this type of look that I have in my mind, I want to go full in, so I start directly with Alien, and I apply Alien here on the outer crease and also like outer third of my lid, and just slightly wiggle it out. I then go into Meteor next to it, and that one I start to blend in the center part of the crease, and I bring it slightly inwards, but not all the way, and slightly outwards. And I feel like there are now 2 ways that I could go. I could either go with Earthbound on the inner crease part for a slightly pop of neon-y shades, or I tap directly into Light Year to already pick up the purple. I don't know, both could match, but with the purple it also could break the look quite weird. You know what? I stay with Earthbound, and we will do the purples on the lower lash line. So I take that and then I start to apply this on the most inner crease part. I concentrated really here in that center, and then I bring it outwards, and I go on top of the line of the other blends, so this is also acting kind of as my transition color. So I applied my glitter glue, and now let's pick up Gargoyle, and I apply this all over the lid. What a match made in heaven, and very interesting now that I applied it. Honestly, depending on how I tilt my head, how I move it, I see the lime and pewter here in the inner corner, and nearly no purple is showing up. So maybe I have to rethink what we will do on the lower lash line. Or maybe you see the purple. Tell me, it's so interesting always. So I don't have a real chromy eyeliner actually, which is surprising, but I have a shadow stick. I will be using the ColourPop New Moon shadow stick in the shade Vampire Girl. No, not Vampire Girl. Let me change that. Wolf Girl I wanted to use because it has a slight lime green shift, a little bit of golden, so it should pick up the shift very, very well of the lid. And I apply that here, but I was wrong. It's the wrong shift. This is golden copper, but I can totally do that too. I mean, let's be real, it's just a waterline. It matches anyway. But since there is literally no purple really translating on the eye, I actually will stay more in the green vibe. So I go into Alien again and use this on the outer half of my lower lash line. Then I wipe off the brush here on the dry towel, and I go into Meteor and use that here on the rest and slightly smoke it out. And to make the vibe complete, I also tap very, very soft into Earthbound, and I apply this slightly underneath. We have beautiful options here for the inner corner highlight, and honestly, everything here inside me wants to use Milky Way, Orbit, or Moonwalk, but none of these pressed glitters is kind of matching. So what I think is going to match will be the shade New Moon, because it is pewtery, it's limey, it's greeny, it has some silvery gray tones to it, so I think that is going to be great inner corner highlight. Pick that up. And now just apply it. Honestly, this was a very interesting inner corner highlight choice because it is technically not very light. It has a dark base to it, but I am a fan of darker inner corner highlights, like these shades that kind of break the scheme a bit. And here you have the finished look. On the lips, I'm wearing MAC Greige lip liner, and I paired it with one of the most intimidating lip colors ever. This is the shade Let Me Cook from the Muted Nudes from the Made by Mitchell Cupid case. A very, very weird lip color. You saw it hopefully already in this, not in the swatch, in my short series that I have with these, but yeah. Combined with a lip liner that's slightly darker and cool toned, it works. I honestly cannot tell you what is my favorite look. I think this time in this video, the three looks, they just could not be more different. And honestly, I even want to say that this today is my favorite. I never used Gargoyle in that intensity like today, and I do think that on the eyes it just looks like I'm wearing 2 or 3 different types of green and lime and gold colors. It is a very, very beautiful shift, and even that hefty green that's in there is just stunning because it is a really nice undertone of green that is, I would even say that this has in the when it shifts just the emerald way, just this cool toned vibe to it makes this so special. But I also like the look from, like the second look, I wanted to say yesterday, but for you, it is the look that you got a couple minutes ago because Kiln is just such a beautiful shade, and the whole mix with the warmish and the redishes is just beautiful. And that's already it for this video. You saw all 3 looks, and now I'm also curious which look was your favorite. Is any of the Clionadh shades now now on your wish list. Just keep in mind, I am so far not affiliated with Clionadh. I'm just still hoping that someday they might find out about me and they might give me an affiliate code that I can give to you, because I am just a fan of Clionadh eyeshadows, and they are by far my favorite multi-chrome brand. Nothing has ever topped the way, the feelings that I get when I use a Clionadh eyeshadow. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out any of the other parts and any of the other series that I have. I think so far at least one part of the Terra Moon collection of the Terra Moon video is up there, and I'm also planning to do one with Glimminatrix. So thank you so much, and I see you soon.